Zinbryta from the target to its market. Zinbryta or Daclizumab is an injectable formulation developed by Biogen and AbbVie for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis (RRMS) in adults. RRMS is defined by inflammatory attacks on myelin sheath. During these inflammatory attacks, activated immune cells cause small localized damage which produce symptoms of multiple sclerosis. Zinbryta is a humanized monoclonal antibody that binds to CD25, the alpha subunit of interleukin-2 receptor that is highly expressed on the T cell that become abnormally activated in autoimmune conditions such as multiple sclerosis. Development history of Zinbryta. In December 1997, it was first approved by FDA for prevention of renal transplant rejection. In December 2004, repurposing of Daclizumab for multiple sclerosis treatment was done, and the primary endpoint for phase 2 trial in RRMS patient was met in 2007. Subsequent studies showed promising results, and finally Daclizumab received FDA approval for RRMS treatment and was marketed as Zinbryta. However, in 2018 it was voluntarily recalled by Biogen and AbbVie due to the reports of encephalitis. Clinical trials. The first clinical trial of Zinbryta in multiple sclerosis was the Chow study, in which the Daclizumab SQ1 formulation was utilized. The Chow study was a phase 2 randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled multicenter trial that compared Daclizumab with interferon beta in patients with either relapsing remitting or secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. In this study, 230 participants who were previously taking interferon beta were randomized to receive either add-on high dose or add-on low dose, or interferon and placebo for 24 weeks. Patients enrolled in the Chow study were predominantly female, white, had RRMS, and had an average of 2.5 relapses over the preceding 2 years. Following completion, patients were followed for an additional 48 weeks for safety, imaging, and clinical monitoring. At the end of this period, there was no statistically significant difference in the proportion of patients who had relapses among the three groups. Second phase trial is SELECT. In SELECT, patients with RRMS were randomized to receive Daclizumab 150 or 300 mg subcutaneously every 4 weeks or placebo for 52 weeks. Patients who completed SELECT were eligible to enroll in the SELECTION extension study. In SELECTION, patients from the placebo group in SELECT were re-randomized to receive Daclizumab 150 or 300 mg subcutaneously for 4 weeks for 52 weeks. Patients from the Daclizumab 150 and 300 mg treatment arms in SELECT were re-randomized to continue their assigned dosage of Daclizumab or to 20 weeks or placebo treatment followed by reinitiation of their previously assigned dosage for 32 weeks. In the placebo washout group, the period between the last Daclizumab dose in SELECT and reinitiation of Daclizumab in SELECTION was a total of 24 weeks. Patients who completed SELECTION were eligible to enroll in ongoing SELECTED study in which all patients received Daclizumab 150 mg for up to 6 years. Third phase, phase 3 trial, DECIDE. 1,841 patients enrolled in DECIDE trial were primarily white, female, and 41% of them had previously been on disease-modifying therapy. In DECIDE, patients were randomized to receive Daclizumab 150 mg subcutaneously every 4 weeks or interferon beta once weekly, a minimum of 96 weeks up to a maximum of 144 weeks. The study ended when the last enrolled patient completed the week 96 visit. Patients who completed DECIDE were eligible to enroll in ongoing safety extension study in which all patients received Daclizumab 150 mg for up to 6 years in total of the treatment. On 27 May 2016, FDA approved Zinbryta for the treatment of adults with RRMS as a long-acting injection that is self-administered monthly. However, they released Zinbryta with a black box warning due to the complexity of its adverse effects. Risk Evaluation and Mitigation Strategy, or REMS, is a strategy to manage known or potential serious risks associated with a drug product, and it is required by the FDA to ensure that the benefits of a drug continue to outweigh its risk. Due to the risk of severe liver injury, including life-threatening events, Zinbryta is available only through a restricted program called Zinbryta REMS program. These are the requirements of the Zinbryta REMS program. However, in 2018, Biogen and FDA voluntarily recalled Zinbryta following 12 reports of serious inflammatory brain disorders, where 3 of them fatal. There were some controversies arise following its recall. First, neither Biogen nor AbbVie warned consumers or physicians about the risk of encephalitis. Besides, there were no efficacy or disability data on Zinbryta in non-Caucasian population. Furthermore, a patient filed a lawsuit against Biogen and her physician for his malpractice, which brought serious adverse effects and mental depression. This is the summary. Thank you.